Greg here with my partner, Gerry and together,
we are the Wax Hunters.
Gerry, I am so pumped to start this podcast with you. I know we've been talking about it for a little bit. I know that for myself, as a new collector, especially into the wax industry, when we started talking, I learned a lot about the wax industry and the things that are going on in the collectibles industry. And maybe you can just share your insight and your experience, because I think that if you can do for me what if you can do for everyone else what you've done for me, I think that that's gonna be a great podcast for everybody.
And I think that's a good point, Greg. Welcome everybody. Hopefully this will be one of many more videos we'll be doing on how to show novice collectors how to become a first-rate, top-shelf memorabilia collector of wax and associated sports and non-sports items, which incidentally, the non-sport market is picking up dramatically. People are finding interest in that.
So what would be an example of the non-sport industry?
Well, we have examples here. So just to show that here, we have, this is from 1965. It is called Weirdos. They came out. That's kind of what we are, I guess. I don't know. But we find these things online, or when you were a kid, you went to the store and you had your baseball and your football, and then you had your non-sports. So it's becoming big now, because a lot of people, what you may think was something that is just like, non-sports, it wasn't a star. They threw them away. They didn't save them. And basically, that what became rare, because there is hardly any of the non-sports packs. Some of them are extremely rare, and you can't find them. So that right there is a whole new market aside from the sports market.
That's crazy. And you have an experience in the sports collectibles market and the sports cards market, right?
Yes, I do. I had a baseball card store from 92 to 94, I believe. It was just for fun. Did it a couple of years. But reason why we shut the store down was because we were really into it for the people to collect cards. And not so much, just like now, we're not into it for the money. We're into it to show people how to make money and not get ripped off. But all these brands started coming out. All these different, there was really Topps, Donruss, Fleer, and then Upper Deck started coming out, and then you had Leaf, and then it just exploded with every different producer making cards. And first off, you couldn't even stock the shelves; it was too expensive. And then after that, the packs were $3 and $4. Young kids couldn't afford it. You're talking packs on this table. Some of them went for, you could have got a cello football pack in '85. For 59 cents, now today it's $5.
For the people, what's a cello pack versus a regular pack?
A cello pack is a pack that is wrapped, obviously, just what it means, in cellophane.
Gotcha.
And it is a bigger pack with more cards. So they found a way to give you more cards for a better value.
Yeah, and to your point that you were making earlier, I remember when I was a kid growing up, like there was Topps, there was Donruss, Leaf, like those were like the big ones, maybe Pinnacle. But nowadays there are a million different subsets of like Bowman I can't even count how many different brands Bowman has, and Panini and Donruss, and then Topps. Like everyone has like 10 to 12 different brands. So for a collector, especially now, like you can get overwhelmed with all of the different things. And I think for me, I think about the first time we met at a card show. You were telling me about wax packs and why that's such a great market to get into. And I remember the first purchase I made, I bought a box of 1991 Topps Stadium Club baseball because I remember as a kid, like that was
your thing.
That was the thing. Those were the cool cards. I'm like, I was excited. I think I paid $15 for it. I'm like, oh, this is not, I got two boxes. I remember $10 a piece. I paid $20 for two boxes. I'm like, this is the greatest thing. And you're like, well, what rookies are in there? And,
right.
When you look up the values of those cards, especially in that time period, like there's not a lot of stars there. But for someone that's a novice collector that's just going in and maybe thinking about starting to get into wax, they may see some of these boxes from their childhood and overpay for something, when in reality, they're better off putting money into a pack from the late 70s or early 80s, something like that, just to kind of get started.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. When you're looking at, or when you start card collecting, the biggest misconception is when somebody goes, and maybe after this video, they're going to start digging in their chest and looking for cards, and all of a sudden they go, "Oh my God, I found all these cards!" And then they start looking at them and go, "Oh, this card looks great. This card looks great." They start looking in the guide and they start thinking they have thousands of dollars. That is so far from the truth. It's not even funny. Okay, what it happens is when you get a card out of a pack today or yesteryear, that everything has to be perfect. The corners, the surface, you as a wax pack collector, even of older wax packs, you don't want two things. You don't want the first card and you don't want the last card to be a star. And reason being is the first card probably has the gum stuck to it, which is not going to help the value of the card.
Right.
And the last card is where they thermal sealed it with the wax rollers when they heated it to seal the pack. You're going to get some wax staining on the last card. So you want to hope your rookie card or your star card is in the middle of the pack somewhere.
Nice, safely and secure in the middle.
That's correct. Nice and tucked away.
I know for me, I was blown away because growing up, I collected baseball cards. I was obsessed with them. And even still to this day, I love buying cards and opening up the packs and finding the cards. And you start seeing companies like PSA and Beckett and all these third-party companies that would grade them. And to some people, they may not understand what the grading is. And I was shocked to find out that packs were actually graded and came in these slabs. That blew my mind.
Yeah, that's a good point, Greg. The pack's grading. They're grading a pack, for example. Let me grab this one. They're grading a pack. This is a 9.5, and this is 72 Topps Football Series 1, which is a quite expensive pack. This pack can set you back easily $500-$600, and possibly more. They look at the pack for the overall color of the pack, the artwork. Is the colors faded? They look at the seal. Is the seal nice and tight? Is it uniform? And then they look for wrinkles or tears. This pack obviously is a 0.5 percentage point next to being perfect, and there really isn't much to tell about this pack because it's what it is, a 9.5. So you want to make sure that if you're buying packs, you want to try to stay in the 7 and higher because of the value purpose. Packs right now are going for overbook value. When I say overbook value, PSA has a website which, if you go on it, you can find what the packs are actually worth pre-1980. So when you look up these packs, the higher the grade. For example, some packs can be, say, 200 in a 7 and jump to 800 in an 8 because they're just not around anymore. They're just not there. So you have to be really cognizant of when you're buying a pack. Now, if you're buying the packs to find the cards, well, this is kind of tricky because you'd probably want to buy a pack in the 6 or 7 range because they're grading, remember, they're grading the pack.
Right.
They're not grading the cards inside of it because they can't see it. So the chances are if there's no bangs or digs or real bad bruising of the pack, you're better off buying it because the cards in there could possibly be a 10, but you're paying a lesser price because the pack is a 7. So you'll save money and make money at the same time if you catch that 10 card.
So that's a great point. So for the people that are chasing the cards, especially for those PSA 10s, which, I mean, when you look at the PSA price guide, the value from a 9 to a 10, especially on some of those star rookie cards, is insane. We were talking about some of the Mickey Mantle cards.
Yeah, and the Thurman Munson, for example.
Yes, the Thurman Munson, exactly.
71 Thurman Munson, he brought to my attention. I told him because of the black border in 71, that was a very difficult series to collect in pristine condition. Now, you look in the guide, and in, I believe, a 7 is $200. And when you go to an 8, it goes to $1,950, from $200 to $1,950. And I think when you go to a 9, you're pressing over $15,000. So for you people out there that have 1971 cards, please, if you have them and you find them, handle them with care. But if you happen to find that Thurman Munson, and that isn't even his rookie card, that's his second year card. But because of the black border, makes this card extremely rare. Therefore, if you have one that is sharp corners, good surface, not off center, which they were notoriously off center, there was no quality control back then like there is today. And that's what makes that old card market red hot. And that's where going to be the money for the future in the next 10 years. I predict it's going to explode. It already has, and it's going to go even further because of those hard series to collect.
Yeah, and you were telling me, so when you started collecting specifically wax a few years ago, right?
Well, I've been collecting cards since I was 6 or 7,
right.
So I could ride a bicycle to get down to the corner store and buy that pack of 1971 cards that I wish I saved. I have the cards; they're all beat up. A lot of them are used as a motor for my bicycle with a clothespin and the best sound you ever want to hear. If you don't know what it is, get a clothespin and a card and clip it on near the spokes of your wheels and make sure it's not a good card. And give it a spin. It's the best motor sound you ever want to hear. So I started basically, if you want to say, buying packs in 1971.
Yeah.
I was 8 years old. So I had the love of the industry for many, many years. I still do. But 3 years ago, a good friend of mine, John Palmieri, had found some cards, a true find that his father had. And we looked them up, and they were quite valuable. Unfortunately, some of the cards were written on, but the shame of it is that they were in pristine condition, but they were written on. So anything that's marked up or written on obviously decreases the value. Unless, of course, it's a really valuable card. I've seen cards look like they've been chewed. If it's a Honus Wagner or a Mickey Mantle, it's still commanding big money. But he got the bug into me, and thank God he did 3 years ago, because the wax market really wasn't exploding. And then I started buying and more and more and more and more. And this is just a very small percentage of what I had to get. But it lit a fire under me. And once you get this bug, it's going to be hard to stop, because it is exciting, it's fun, and again, you could make money on it. So,
and just the increase in value from 3 years ago to today, some of the packs that you were telling me that you bought, I mean, even some of the packs that I've bought in just the last 6 months that have jumped up in value, just it's mind blowing. And the crazy thing is, especially with these older packs, the more people open them, the more rare they become. So
true.
The jump in value is crazy, but I mean, you were telling me that the return on investment was actually outperforming the stock market in some cases.
It was outperforming. The stock market was outperforming gold because of the value. I mean, when you look at a pack of cards and you say, okay, wait a minute, how much did you pay for that pack? All right, it's a $20 pack. If you wait a year or two and it has a decent rookie in it or something, and that's really a cheap pack. You get back $30 for it. Okay. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you stop and think of the percentage, that's a 50% return on your money. There isn't anything even close out there to a 50% return. So that's what I mean about that. And then don't think it's just the $20 packs. The high-end packs are even crazier. For example, I was bidding I believe it's a 58 baseball penny pack. And we were talking on the phone, and we were saying, okay, I'm high bidder at $920. I thought I had the pack. It booked for 15. I thought I got lucky, but I did not. What ended up happening was when I woke up the next morning and saw I didn't win it, I proceeded to go to the didn't win section of eBay. And when I looked at the pack, I almost fell off the chair.
Right.
The pack was $4,200 it went for. That is a rarity. Haven't seen that, but it did. And somebody actually bought it. So they actually, in essence, paid a little bit under $3,000 over book value for that pack. So there's some of the kind of things you can get lucky for your returns if you have the right pack.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know for me, I'm always hunting for like that great pack value. And we were both looking at that same pack, and it jumped like crazy. It went from like $600 to $1,500. When you told me that it sold for over $4,000, it blew my mind. But that just kind of speaks to the demand in the market for the wax pack industry. It's not something where they're able to make more of them. There's only a finite number of them, like the 71 Topps packs.
I challenged you.
Yeah,
I challenged him to find me a 71 wax pack. How you doing?
I guess so. I am probably one of the world's greatest Googlers. I feel like I could find anything on the internet.
So how you doing?
I have failed miserably.
I know it.
The only thing I could find is a 71 O-Pee-Chee.
That's right.
Which is not the same as a 71 Topps. It's still nice, but not even remotely close to the same.
That's correct. The O-Pee-Chee is the Canadian brand of Topps. Now, fortunate and unfortunate, there is O-Pee-Chee around because in the hockey world, O-Pee-Chee is, in instances, more valuable than the regular Topps pack. For example, the Wayne Gretzky 7980 rookie card in O-Pee-Chee just recently sold, I believe, for like $465,000. That's right, $465,000 for a Wayne Gretzky rookie, and it was O-Pee-Chee. So, just another example of how crazy it's gotten. And reason why we're doing this is to instruct people to get in on it and don't miss the bandwagon on this. We want everyone to know, me and Greg want people to understand that there's two things you can derive out of this. You can have the pleasure of collecting with the pleasure of making money. So it's going to be exciting. We're going to have a lot more of these podcasts and videos so that people will really understand what to do, what to look for, and how to get into this market so they don't miss the train.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I started this probably about 6 months ago, and my collection has jumped. I mean, I was showing you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
He got the bug. Got the bug.
I probably have as much as on the table right now, maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah, I saw you had quite a bit.
But it's crazy. It's fun though because like it gives you that nostalgia value. So you get to go back to like
brings you back.
These are the same packs that I would have opened as a kid in most of the cases.
Right.
And the cards inside are some of the same cards that I used to open up. So it definitely brings that nostalgia value back. So for me, like that's a lot of fun, and especially if you have kids and you want to get into card collecting, now you can start showing them the cards that were popular when you were a kid, that may be worth a little bit of money, or just give you something to kind of remember your childhood by. So for me, that's like the fun and exciting part of it. But I also like the hunt of finding a hidden gem or a treasure.
Well, that's why we're the wax hunters.
That's right. That's exactly right. So what would you say for people that are just starting out? Like, what's some advice that you would give to someone that's thinking about dipping their toe into the wax market?
Well, what I would say is
smaller budget.
Okay. What I would say is, look at your budget and look at what you are going to buy or think about buying. Well, first off, if you got, let's just use a number, $100, and for a kid that wants to buy something, don't think about quantity. Quality is better than quantity in this business. You don't want to buy 5 packs of, say, a $20 pack. You're better off buying 1 pack that's $100. That it's a great pack. But But one thing I can't stress enough is make sure the pack is slabbed by PSA or the BBCE. BBCE does a wonderful job on wax boxes, and PSA and NGC do a wonderful job on slabbing packs in plastic. This could not be graded by either one of those companies, PSA or NGC, because it's too big, but BBCE will certify it and tell you that it's not tampered and it's in great condition. This is something that's kind of like a dream for somebody today if they found it without in a store or just in an old box or somebody just put it away. This is what they hung them in the stores. Topps had the rack pack, as they would call it, but fortunately this one is special because it has a Joe Montana rookie card right on top. So that makes it a lot more valuable and exciting if you happen to find this in the drawer or your mom's house or your grandfather's house. that got put away for years and forgot about it. He liked Joe Montana. He put it in the draw. You got a real expensive winner there for something like that. This one is a 1980 pack that came 3 in a pack, and that is Ricky Henderson's rookie year. So if you find something in that with Ricky Henderson in it, you got yourself a gem of a winner. So, make sure that things are certified. Also, they're not in business anymore, but their packs are floating around, and they are regarded as a legitimate, grading service. It's GAI. This is a 74 Topps Baseball in a 9. So you see them on eBay and Heritage Auction House and all them. You'll see some packs are by GAI. So just make sure they're slabbed and certified, because I've been burnt. Bought a pack, sent it to PSA, and the pack was tampered with. So try to stick with just the certified stuff.
Yeah, I know for me, anything I'm looking to buy, I'm always making sure that it's been slabbed and graded by... I like PSA just because... honestly, I just like everything being uniform and lined up. Yeah. So, I'm quirky like that. But you always want to make sure that you're getting something that's been graded. Mm-hmm. And the nice thing about PSA, too, that you're able to do, when you go on their website, you can look it up. They even have an app where... So, on each of these packs, there's barcodes. At least on some of the newer ones. You can actually scan the barcode, and it'll pull up the grading and give you a description and details on it. If the card was ever sold on eBay... it will sometimes track that too, and it'll even show pictures of the packs now on eBay. So you can actually check things just to make sure that it is exactly what you think you're buying. But it also gives a level of comfort and security, knowing that you're getting one of these great rare packs. But it's also it increases the value tenfold. Like you can buy I bought a pack of 1981 Topps Baseball for $5 that wasn't graded. But if you want to buy that same pack graded right now, it's probably $125.
Yeah. And that's a good point. But now, if you want to take that chance and get lucky, like I did, this is a 1988 Flair basketball. This is a third-year Jordan. So I bought it over the internet. Now, I got a great price on it, and I was a little bit nervous because when I sent it out, I was praying that BBCE came back and said, this is the original box with the original packs. Sometimes they switch packs out. So you'll get the box, but it'll be made up of different boxes to make one full box. That's something you want to be careful of. But when I sent it out, thank God, BBCE said, this box is gem. It's original. It's all the packs were in there. And I probably paid $1,000 less than if I bought it over eBay or somewhere else because I took that chance. But you can easily get burnt by buying a box like this and sending it to the baseball card exchange. That's Steve Hart over there. They do a magnificent job grading boxes and packs, encapsulating that. But he certified it, and I was relieved. And he said the pack is one of the nicest boxes he's seen in a while. So it is a nice, clean box. And that's something you want to also, when you're investing in, Greg, you want to make sure the box is in great shape. You want to make sure it's not banged up, no corner bangs, no dents, because that affects the cards, okay? This is 2017 Contenders from Panini. Nice box. So those are some of the things you want to make sure that you look at as best as you could, or ask questions when you're on eBay about the condition of the box. As you can see, some of the boxes were not on eBay. You can see they were not pristine, and they went for a lower amount of money. So that's something you got to look for.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's funny. Seeing the Panini Contenders. It's one of the first boxes I bought.
Okay.
With Pat
Mahomes.
So that's exciting. So I guess that kind of brings me to another point. The newer cards. There's so many of them, and it's so hard to know which ones to buy right now.
Right.
And they explode. Like there's a lot of people buying them. Like they have boxes. Like I was looking at the Immaculate boxes. And they go for over $1,000 just right now, just right direct from the manufacturer.
Oh, there's tons.
And I know that you and I have this debate a lot because like for me, I don't have a crazy high bankroll, so I like to take a shot on getting these boxes earlier where the price is a little bit lower, a lower point of entry. But then there's risks that you run into. Someone can get injured. There could
That's
be,
correct.
Character issues that may come up, or they may just decide to stop playing. And then that rookie card can go from sky high to not very high at all. And there's also so many cards out there. So would you say that you would rather invest into a little bit of an older individual pack, or like what are your thoughts on the newer card? I know.
Well, the newer cards, like I said, you don't know what the production numbers are, and the thing that scares me is that they can produce as many as they want.
Right.
If a box is hot and they're still in production run or something, they could just keep producing them. I've heard, I can't say it's true or not true, but I've heard in the industry that 89 Upper Deck was actually produced 3 years after 89 because the Ken Griffey card was so hot.
Wow.
They were still producing them because I went to a card show and there was a rookie card there that was a 10 of Ken Griffey. And I asked the dealer, why are you selling this card at half book? And he said, well, there's a lot of cards. And I said, why is that? And that's when he proceeded to tell me that Upper Deck was producing cases 3 years after 1989. That'll devalue the card really quick.
That's crazy.
And social issues also will devalue cards really quick. If somebody has horrific a crime or something just really bad in the sports world, the collectors tend to turn their nose up to that and do not want their cards. So you can easily get a card that might be valued at $1,000, $2,000 can drop really to, I've never seen zero, but pretty low.
Yeah, that's crazy, and that's a great point. So I know for me, especially with like Zion coming out, like I'm all into like those basketball cards right now. Just because I remember when LeBron was coming out, and there's Carmelo and Dwayne Wade, I bought a whole bunch of those cards, and like the values are really good right now, and I was fortunate because I was able to get those cards at a low value because I was just buying them from the packs, and I was buying boxes and just opening up the cards, and I was able to secure those rookie cards. But if I were to try to do that now, I wouldn't be able to afford it. But there is a risk if you want to try to chase those young stars now. The cool thing I do like though about some of those new cards, they'll have like 1 of 1 cards or 10 of 10 cards.
Yes.
And like those are the ones that you're really gonna try to look for. And I know that we've been fortunate to go after some boxes where there's some good rookie cards, whether it's Tom Brady or there it is.
I'll give you an example right here. So National Treasures.
What a treasure.
This is the 2012. Just want to make sure I'm right. National Treasures box. Now, this box has Andrew Luck in it. Now, he retired. So you take a shot with it and hope that it goes up in value based on what he's done. But here's the real kicker. This is around a $900 to $1,000 box. There's 1 pack of cards in here. One pack. And you're guaranteed so many autographs for this box. The box looks probably greater than the packs. But, that's what you got to do. Now, for $1,000, if you decide to open this box, and again, calculated risk, if you get the Andrew Luck, and if it's a 10, it's a $6,000 card. So if you don't, you're going to get some stars, but you're going to be hard-pressed to get $1,000 if you get the wrong stars in here. So you will take a grave risk to open this and come up empty. So that's something you don't want to. That's something you don't want to do either. So
yeah, so it's definitely something to keep in mind. I think I tend to agree with you in a way to go after some of those older packs, especially because they're so much rarer to get. But that's what we're here for. I think that you and I have some different perspectives because I come from kind of the newer school where I like to chase those really fancy.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was growing up, insert cards were just becoming a thing.
Yep.
I remember like the Donruss, the Diamond Kings.
Correct.
Like that was like you were always trying to hunt for that, but there was only like 1 or 2.
Those are good motor cards, by the way. The Diamond Kings. You can use those cards for motors on your bicycles and whatever you want to do. That's a great card for a motor.
Oh, that's great. But so for me, I mean, with the 2019 tops, I was chasing after some autograph cards.
You're really on that 2019 tops.
I
you keep bringing it up.
I bought a whole bunch of them.
Are you pumping the 2019 tops? I
mean, I'll tell you. So I probably bought about 50 packs.
Oh my god!
I didn't get a single autograph. But if you look at the back of the wrapper, no joke. There's probably about 50 different inserts you could get. Like it's almost overwhelming. Every time you get a card,
and what'd you get?
Yeah, nothing.
That's another risk.
I lost probably about $200. Yeah, I got maybe 4 Pete Alonso rookie cards, which for right now are a great value, and they're really strong in a 10. But I would have rather taken that $200 and putting it towards maybe 89 Flair basketball.
Take that $200 and put it towards 2,000 Leaf rookie and stars.
That's right.
That you can get Tom Brady. So if you get him in here. You're talking a very valuable rookie card. So, as we said before, you get wrapped up in that chase, that thrill to buy that pack. But in reality, you're wasting money. So, he saves those $200 and gets to $800 or $900, and then, he can buy a box like this and then take a calculated risk. I think at some point in time on this show, we're going to take a calculated risk. I just want to let you know that. And it'll be an exciting show because when we break open a pack or a box, it's going to be quite the show because it'll be a valuable pack or a valuable box where we can hope to get something that could pay for the box back. So that would be upcoming, and we would want to do that soon. So.
Yeah, and that's the fun part. But I mean that's the gamble, right? Like
that's right.
You can spend $1,000 on a National Treasures box in hopes of having that great card inside, and that's I guess your mindset. Do you want to try to go after the card, or do you want to maintain the value of the pack? And I think for me, as much as I love opening the packs, I like the idea of investing in the wax pack right now. So I think for me, that's where my value is. But I don't think that there's a wrong answer. I just think that there's different approaches. And I think that for sure, like there's a lot of different options out there. But to your point, if you're gonna open up packs, sometimes take a shot at it. But you're better off, doing something that's a little bit more affordable or saving your money for something really great.
And I think you're right there too. But, talking about calculated risk, there's calculated bad risks because if I revert back to the Flair basketball series, 86 is the holy grail of the cards, the Jordan rookie, the wax box in pristine condition, with everything in numerical order. The packs are all original. It's going to set you back around $80,000.
I saw one show where they were selling individual cards in a pack for $2,000 a piece, the individual packs for $2,000.
Yeah, packs.
And that's crazy.
So now, when I say about the calculated risk, this is something you want to pay attention to. When you're going to buy a box, see who that rookie card is in there. That if you're planning on opening it, would be able to get your money back that you spent for the box and possibly make you money. So here's the example. 87 Flair basketball. It's his second year. The box is $6,000 and it's $6,500. And the rookie card in there, you'd have to get, I think, 2 or 3 rookie cards to get your money back.
Right.
So it's really not a good investment, box per card, if you're going to open it. Now, the 88 Flair basketball, the sticker set, which is the rarity, is more valuable than the 87.
Yep.
But you can get this box for around $1,900.
Yep, and you can still get some good rookies. You got Scottie Pippen in there.
There are. That's right. You got some good
Hall
rookies.
of Fame rookies, but also the stickers,
right?
Which is the big
so
one.
If you make a PSA 10 set of stickers, you have a very valuable commodity there, and that's going to make you your money. So that's a calculated risk. I feel personally that the 87 Flair basketball second year box is not a good value. I couldn't consciously recommend it to people. Even if I had it on this table and it was for sale, I would not recommend to buy it. Because, it won't be on this table because I won't buy it. So it's not, to me, not a good investment. And there's so many other things you can invest in that are better investments that you'll make money with other than 87 Flair basketball. But it is, nonetheless, it is very, there's a formula to this.
Of course.
And
it's not unlike the stock market.
No, there is a true formula to this. And, you actually have something in your hand. You have something to hold and see, so you can make that decision when you're buying and selling of what you want to get rid of, what you want to keep. The objective is to buy and hold. Hold these cards for 10 years, or set yourself a date when you say, okay, at this point, I'm going to stop collecting. I'm going to enjoy my cards, and now I'm going to sell them, whether that be through an auction house, whether that be at a card show, whether that be through eBay. But you're going to want to, at one point in time, sell that collection. And maybe, just maybe, when you make your money, which I know you will, you're able to keep that one or two cards that you know and love for a very long time and just pass it on for generations and generations.
Yeah, that's a great point. I love the analogy that you always make, though, about it being an investment. And I do look at it almost like stocks. The older packs are like those blue chip stocks that you can put money into and you're going to keep your value and it's probably going to go up. And then I see the newer ones as, maybe a stock that's just hitting the market.
Like
that
this?
It goes up and down, but you're hoping that you catch lightning and you could sell it and make a lot of money and then invest into more stuff. So it's not unlike that. But the nice thing is they can't reissue old cards. Like, that's it.
They can't make it more. This is it. What you have with it, what you see is what you get. But there are companies out there that are ripping cards open, and they're selling the individual cards. They're ripping open, and we applaud them, because the more you rip and open, the more valuable that the packs and boxes will go up.
That's right.
Because they're not making any more 85 football. They're not making any more 88 Flair basketball. They're not making any more 2000 Leaf Rookie and Stars. So every pack that gets open, every card that's sold on these websites that they're doing this, it makes that more valuable. It makes that box just that more valuable. And they're hard to come by, because there's very few rare finds, just barnyard or stashed away finds. They're just not out there. So it makes the market be more collectible when they're opening them.
That's crazy. It's true. I watch them every so often, and it just blows my mind. They have some of these packs. Like, one day I saw them opening a pack of 52 Topps baseball.
Oh my god!
And it broke.
Oh my god! That killed me.
It's like a $40,000 pack of cards, and they just
god!
And they got no. There's not a single star in there.
Yeah,
and and that's the other thing too.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, you may have 86 Topps or 86 Flair basketball pack. There's no guarantee Michael Jordan's in that box.
No,
There's no guarantee that you have Charles Barkley or Hakeem Olajuwon
or
anyone that could. Honestly, right now with the way the packs are going, unless you get a Jordan rookie card, you're not even getting your value back in that pack unless you have maybe 3 rookies in there.
But you're better off keeping the pack.
You're better off keeping the pack, or maybe the Abdul-Jabbar sticker.
Yeah.
But I mean, the chances of you getting the card versus having the value in the pack, there's more security in that pack than there is chasing that card. And I know for me, being a card hunter, sometimes I like chasing the card. But if you're looking at this from an investment standpoint, you're almost foolish opening it, because you're almost guaranteeing that you're going to lose money versus having money.
And that is a great point, Greg. You will, in fact, the majority of the time lose money. Yep. It's like a scratch ticket. You don't know what's underneath there. As I say jokingly, every scratch ticket's a winner until you scratch it.
That's right.
So every pack's a winner until you open it. So that's something you really want to be aware of, and make sure that if you're going to do that, A, you can afford it, and B, you know what you're opening.
Right. Yeah. So
it would kill my heart if somebody found a 52 Topps pack and just decided to open it and said, "Oh my God, let's see who's in it."
Right.
Yeah, you just pretty much obliterated about $40,000.
Yeah, or if anyone has the 71 Topps pack of baseball, please don't open it. Just reach out to us and let us know.
You got to reach out to Greg, because he's still trying to find it for me.
I will find it, but that's where it's like, you have to be kind of smart about it. If I had a pack of 86 Flair basketball, I'm not opening it.
Right.
If I was able to afford a box, I'd probably maybe think about it at that point.
Right.
But if I have just an individual pack, I kind of want to keep it and just enjoy the pack.
It's going to increase in value. Yeah. I mean, because they're opening them still today as we speak.
Yep.
They're opening them, so that's going to increase the value as they go lower, 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 lower.
And here's the other thing. If you're going after a specific card, I just did this the other day, because the 71 Munson was a card I had wanted for a while. Mm-hmm. And I'd wanted a 1950s Mickey Mantle. Those were 2 cards that I really wanted.
Yeah.
I can't afford to buy the pack, but you can still go out and get the individual cards. So
now, keep in mind, my partner here was obsessed with having a Mickey Mantle, and I told him, "Why don't you wait on that?" And as usual, he doesn't listen to me.
It's true.
And next thing I do, I get a text with a picture saying I just couldn't help myself. But what he did was he bought a Mickey Mantle card, and it was graded 6, I believe.
It was a PSA 8.
8. I'm sorry, with an MC. That means it was a miscut. So for you people out there that don't know what that really means is, it means if it's an 8 miscut, you have to drop down 2 grades in PSA, and that's the grade of your card. So from an 8 miscut, it turns into a straight 6.
Yep.
So when you're valuing it or buying it, keep in mind, if you're buying a miscut, it drops 2 grades. And I got that right from PSA. So... I think you paid a good price for it, so you're good. But again, that's just something he wanted. So
right.
there's no price. I can't advise or not advise. If you really want it, if it's something that is personal to you, that you feel that you accomplished something, then go for it. I'm probably going to sell him the Brooklyn Bridge when we get off this broadcast, so he'd probably be interested.
Well, only if it's miscut.
Oh, it's only if the there you go. But it's fun. It's fun. He liked the hunt of chasing it. That's why we're the wax hunters. But he likes cards. Any hunting, when it is the card industry, that's what we want to do. We want to track it down. We would love to hear from you out there with your stories. Cards that you may have, advice. So please, if you want to reach out to us, what do we do?
Yeah, so you can come to our website. The website is thewaxhunters.com.
Correct.
You can contact us right through there. We have a Facebook page. That's The Wax Hunters. If you go to Facebook. If you go to Twitter, we are at The Wax Hunters. We're on Instagram. At The Wax Hunters.
Okay.
Even on Reddit. If you want to find us there, we're on Reddit.
Wow. You've been doing a lot of things, huh? While I'm sleeping, you're busy there, huh? Okay.
But so there's a lot of different ways that you can get into contact with us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have the podcast, obviously.
Yep.
The podcast is available on every streaming service, so that's going to be really accessible. And our goal is to make sure that we're creating content that's interesting to you. Jumping off of both of our passions, but also yours as well. So as Gerry, you're talking about hearing from people's stories, we would love to talk about your collection and maybe the history behind what you've collected.
Yeah, how you found it.
Yeah, because for us, that's the fun part. Like going out and chasing it down. And for me, the Mickey Mantle card, I know it's miscut and everything, but I had a personal goal to own that specific card, and I don't care.
You did it.
And I don't care if it's miscut, but that was something I was looking for, and just like we're looking for that 71 Topps pack for Gerry, that's the fun thing, looking for those cards and the stories behind it. Or maybe it's an heirloom that's handed down, and there's a really great story behind the whole genesis of how it came into your possession, and those are things that we want to talk about. So in addition to giving you guys great insight onto the hobby and the industry, we're really excited to learn from you as well. So definitely make sure you're reaching out to us on those different social media platforms to share the stories, and we'd love to feature you on a future show for sure.
We would love it if you have something that is of interest to the audience out there. We would love to bring our setup and do a little show to see what you have. But our main objective is to make sure that the integrity, the honesty, and the affordability, and the ability to do this, have fun, make some money on your investments, so that you're not ripped off. We want to be known as the two people who bring that integrity to the industry. It has integrity, don't get me wrong, but there are people out there, just like in any walk of life, that have other ideas. They might not have their heart into it. They might be in to sell their things. And the thing that aggravates and annoys us is that the majority of the audience and the majority of the investors are kids. Now, they won't be big money packs. You have the investors like us that invest in bigger stuff. And some of them probably could use advice too. But the kids are the ones that are most vulnerable in this business, and they will take advantage of them to make a pack. And we want to make sure that doesn't happen. We want to stop that. We want everyone to be able to enjoy this industry, enjoy this business without having the fear of somebody son or daughter breaking their piggy bank to find out that they got duped and they can't get their money back. That is something that we do not condone or want to see happen. And if we find out any of that, we'll call that person out on social media.
Absolutely.
If we find someone who is persistently selling fake or searched products, we will call you out online and make sure that people will stay away from you. So that's what we want to do.
Yeah, the nice thing is, to Gerry's point, integrity for both of us is a very high.
It's number one.
It's a core principle for us.
It's number one.
And I know for me, if I tried to get into this industry without having Gerry as a mentor and a guide, I would have wasted probably thousands of dollars buying the wrong things.
Yeah.
So we want to give you a resource that you can reach out to and say, hey, this is what we're thinking about. What do you think? And that's ultimately what our goal is. And in addition to that, we're gonna do a lot of fun things.
We sure are.
We're gonna talk about some packs. We're gonna open up some cards.
That's right.
We'll do some fun stuff just to kind of keep it fun
and
loose.
if there's anyone out there that's a local sports person that has a card in a pack and you want to come on, let's do it. Yep. We'll get your pack and you can open it up online. And hopefully you get your own card in there. We would love to have some sports person come visit us, and we don't care who it is. We would be more than happy to entertain them and welcome them. And it would be exciting for our audience too, to see someone open a pack of cards and find their own rookie in it. That's like an ultimate dream. So
absolutely,
we would want that.
So Gerry, as we look to wrap up, are there any things that you want to point out to the first-time collector that they should look out for and know when they're looking to buy their first pack?
Well, one thing I can say that when you are a first-time collector, one of the very first things you should do before buying a pack, don't rush. Don't rush into buying that pack, even though you think you have a good deal. I've made many mistakes. I'll give you a quick one. I bought a ticket that was from, I think, 1956. It was non-sports. It was a Johnny Carson show. It was when he was on television. They had tickets. And I made the mistake of putting an offer in, reading the bio, and I put it in for $75, and they took it. Well, when I searched the internet for that same ticket, I found one in better shape for $25. So the person I bought it from was gracious enough to refund my money, but that's how you can get robbed very quickly. So do not rush. Make sure that when you buy a pack, you put it in the Google search or somewhere and make sure that it's absolutely the best price you have and it's what you want. Rushing in this business can be very dangerous.
It's true. And I'm sure we'll do a whole show on card shows and things like that.
Yes.
But it's important to know what you're looking for, but also know the things to look for. So knowing how to identify if a pack is searched, and we'll talk about that in a future episode.
That's right.
And what to look for in descriptions to see if a card is authentic or maybe even a reproduction, or what the different acronyms are on the PSA slabs and things like that.
Correct.
So there's a lot of things that we want to talk to you about and share that information with, but not just for new collectors. We're also going to do a lot of stuff for
existing collectors.
For existing collectors that have collections and that maybe you're looking for different ways to get into some of these bigger packs. Or
even selling their stuff.
Yeah, or even looking for ways to sell them too, like what the best ways to go about that, or things like that. So we're really trying to do something for everyone in this industry, and we can all learn from each other. So we're really excited about it.
And let us know what you want. Let us know what you'd like to see in upcoming episodes. Let us know what, even this first one, let us know if we bored you to death.
Yep.
But we hope not. But let us know what you want to see and what we can do to make it enjoyable for your new collector and existing collector. And that's what we're really looking for. So I will say this in closing for myself, Gerry Marotti, and my partner, Greg Martingell. We are the Wax Hunters. Thank you and have a nice night.